There we go. Should be good. Fantastic. Let me see if everything went through, and then we can get to discussing the live stream this week and what's going on with all these different series and how things are coming back after the Corona break, as well as the normal Golden Week one that we got last week. Because now we should be returning to just the normal schedule and the normal layout of the chapters and whatnot of at least Shonen Jump. Maybe some series might still be off. Oh, I got this. Why is my picture so different? It's like super zoomed into my Photoshop. Where's? Let me see. Oh, wait, maybe. I was going terrible so far. Oh, it's because I think I have the wrong one turned on. Oh, I don't have this on for one. Let me turn that guy back on. So I was like, all my stuff messed up. Oh, I had my picture ruined. I'll just use this one. I'll use this. Let me use this nice Ethnologia picture from a game of an alt version that he doesn't actually have, and obviously canon. But it looks pretty sweet. So, how are you guys doing this week? What's going on with you guys? How's everyone been doing? Getting all geared up for the next round of chapters. I mean, we got Fairy Tail this week, but it's easy on break because it's a Golden Week. But we should be getting the chapter, at regular schedule early next week, and continue with with that crazy story. I like that now that the picture is just going to be a zoom in of my Photoshop and just nonsense. I think I've made like a clown picture of Cloud to mess with my friends. That's the highlight of what was that picture. But anyway, what are you guys all up to? Any crazy new chapters come out for you guys? I haven't read the new ones for Ariadne. I saw that chapter came out, but I have not seen anything. I don't think any of the main series. I think there's a couple. Yeah, I think there was like a One Piece and like Black Clover fan translation. But that's about it. I don't think there was anything wild in there that could really just form up its own large topic. I'm hoping so. I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if there's the Chainsaw Mans or actually no. The new chapters of Record of Ragnarok came out. I gotta review those at some point. Those were pretty hype. Those were definitely some pretty nice chapters, closing out of the Jack the Ripper and Hercules fight, and just gearing up for the battle against of Shiva. That's gonna be pretty vicious. But yeah, oh my god, I'm trying really hard to get my stream all set up. It's always that last part since I can't have the window up without. Oh god, I got actually no. God, I got the audio going through, so might be a double loop there for a second. Anyway, other than that, though, let me get to the comments and see what everyone has to say and what's going on with everybody else. What's up, Bladius? How are you today, man? How's it going? Jared Punch, how are you? Yeah, it's from like a crossover video game. I'm wondering like is there gonna be an alt version? I want to see Ethnologia return somehow. Like obviously logically, but if he does, he should come back with this. This is what his form should have looked like once he ate the space between time. Yeah, I really wish that Hiroshima gave him like some super crazy god form like Zeref. I mean, he was already a really badass looking dragon, but still, that's like a moment that warranted like an evolution form. Super excited this week's chapter for My Hero and Mashal Undead Unluck. So I saw a little bit from My Hero, but everything's looking pretty good. I don't think there's anything really bad this week that at least I can think of. What's funny is I didn't really have anything. Like I read the fan translation for the One Piece chapter, and I was like, all right, whatever. It's nothing too crazy for me here. Not bad, not great. But a lot of the fans were mad that Chiffon guy or whatever, he somehow lived when Oven like went up and like backslashed right at his neck, and you didn't even see him. Like, how is he alive? I thought that was kind of funny, though. People were getting a little salty about that. Leopold now has something he has to differentiate between himself. Leopold's getting ready to run the train. Do you think Zeref knew about the Dragon Gods? I think he did because August mentioned them. Well, he might have known about the idea of them. We don't know if he actually confirmed them because August hints at them, but we don't know if August knew that they were alive or just knew of the people who believed in the dragon gods. Where exactly did you get that picture of Acnologia from? It's from a game. I think it's Valkyrie Cross. They did like a fairy tale cameo kind of thing, and I think you can get Xerath to play as, and then you get, there's like an Acnologia boss fight, and he's got this weird form. I don't know why, but looks pretty awesome. Brandon and I are going to enter the Takuza manga contest. Well, best of luck to you. I'm doing well. I'm finally done with schoolwork. Oh, things are. I thought you would be done a while ago. You just have a lot of backed up stuff because of the quarantine. Do you think indie power is too strong enough to fight a dragon god? I mean, we already saw like the portion that what appeared to be Natsu's E&D form. His Aetherius power on top of the Dragon Force was mauling Mercephobia. So I think when he gets the full power, he's going to be stronger. And we know that Acnologia was cautious of him, so he's got some pretty good hype behind him. Well, what's up, the Ripper? How are you, Goo? I was about to say, how are you guys? And I'm like, no, I'm addressing one person. I realized that halfway through the sentence and just like stuttered over myself. I got Demon Slayer, Volume 12, JoJo 4, and Eden 07 in the mail in a few days. I just bought some. I just bought, I think the second. Oh, ow, God. Got something caught in my throat right there. 1 second. Let me drink some water. Jeez. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I got Plunder and I got the Fairy Tale second box set. It's like volumes, I think like 12 to 22 or 23. Adding deck for Zexal, Arc 5, and Vrains. Oh, man, you got to get the 7s. So, Rex, do you think Dragon Joe's official colors will be... what do you think Dragon Joe's official colors will be? I'm hoping for like a kind of like gray and like... I want more of like a almost mystic kind of look, not like too much because of the whole alchemy thing. Because alchemy was, it's kind of like magic science in how it was all formed and how it kind of like centered around. It was like this weird kind of in between in both reality and beliefs of like mysticism and stuff. At least that's what I think. I'm not a master of the knowledge on alchemy, but the fact that you can kind of look at it as magic science is it's kind of cool. So I wanted to, even though he's in a high tech series, that he has that almost more mystical the color kind of scheme to him, where he looks where it kind of complements on both, like I said, magic and science thing. It's kind of like I'm not gonna be like skilled at like just this specific shades. I'm just trying to figure out like the best way to describe it. I just thought that was kind of funny because it wasn't like powers and stuff. It's like colors, and I'm like I don't know what colors exactly. Because I would just name something and probably there's a shade for it, and I would just be blabbering on. But I used to be AJ Dragneel. Oh, I didn't notice. Morningstar now. Is that Lucifer Morningstar? Acnologia versus Kaido. Acnologia would kill Kaido. Like, Kaido doesn't have any, like, crazy powers. He's just a super durable guy. Acnologia was more durable, and he's way more powerful. He would completely rip him in half. I find it crazy that Alderaan can even copy Zeref's curse that came from the actual god. Well, yeah, that's a really weird part, because then that's one of the aspects that makes it different between him and Nineheart. Because Nineheart, well, we already had, like, Nineheart can only seemingly copy one person, and they had to be dead. They don't have to be dead, and for Wolfen, and Wolfen was able to make multiple copies of the same person. But also the fact that from what we saw on with Nineheart, when his Historias were formed, some seemed stronger than they were before, and some seemed weaker. So it seemed like they kind of like they were formed at a certain power level, not the original one that they were, just kind of like what Nineheart does. Whereas with Wolfen, they seem stronger than like what, or not stronger, exactly what they were like because you already have the Curse of Ong Saram, like a copy of it on top of Zeref, which means that he's got something like he forged like pretty much something that is stronger than Alderaan in a way, but not kind of like from a power level, and it's like a weird kind of reality aspect because it couldn't just be I replicated the power. It's like it's him, it's a copy of him, so it's gonna come out just as strong with the same abilities. Revolver versus Kaido. I feel like Revolver would win. feel like it'd be Revolver. Power Scalers are having a field day with Alderaan, especially with his latest feats. I mean, it's not even like crazy feat stuff. Like the dude now with Doom has like a degree of fate manipulation, which is ridiculous, on top of what Alderaan was already capable of, and now he's even crazier. Like that kind of like just made me wonder, like, is he gonna get any more hacks? Like, he already had the stuff with Wolfen, and now he's got the stuff with Doom, and the fact that he can make these familiars, so he's got to be really strong, like, in terms of just multiple abilities, on top of all this, the level of size and physical strength he's got. Broly versus Jiren, I go Broly. I think Broly's stronger. Since Zeref can collect the Alderaan. Oh no, it's not Zeref that would kill Alderaan. It's the Curse of Ankh Saram, because the curse wasn't part entirely of Zeref's kind of like skill and, well, not skill, his kind of power level. It's Ankh Saram, so it's Ankh Saram's level. It's kind of like how Asta can use Lick swords. That he has them, but it's not like he's not able to hit these people because like directly his own abilities. Like, he's got his own. He's got to be able to move and use them because they're tools. The potency of those scale up to, Lick, to somebody who's like Wizard King level. So he has that power, but it's only that strong because of like its origin. But he can use this power and kind of direct it. And with and we know also with the way that it works, it like is potent to the degree of like how much you value said kind of like life or person. And it would be different for Zeref to do it, because Zeref wouldn't have the same level of care for Alderaan that Wolfen has. So the potency of Ankh Saram's curse wouldn't be nearly as high as what we saw. Rex, how you holding up? What is your opinion on Versus Battle Wiki? I mean, the Versus Battle Wiki is mostly guys who didn't get into the Outskirts Battle Wiki, and then the Outskirts Battle Wiki kind of fell apart, and then it's all these kind of goofy dudes now trying to take lead. Brandish versus Nineheart. I'd still go with Nineheart. I mean, it really comes down to, like, if she's able to use, like, her ability to kill, like, it would just be an auto kill on him. I don't think she can. I think if Nineheart versus Brandish happened, she wouldn't be able to pop his insides, because then it'd just be super one-sided. There would be no question that he would even fight her if that was the case. I think that he'd be strong enough to where we saw, like, she would have trouble using it on him, but she would end up using it on herself as well as the environment to fight Nineheart instead of trying to, like, blow up his insides or something. Dawn Thousands cards and print. Oh, I'll have to go check that out. E&D versus Acnologia. Oh, we have to see how powerful E&D really is. And we know that, like, in terms of like sheer power that we saw on Mercephobia was enough to really maul a dragon god. But one thing that it's very different is Natsu was kind of like behaving very primal, but so is Alderaan, or not Alderaan, so is Mercephobia, and that wouldn't be the same way against Acnologia, because Acnologia is a very experienced fighter, so Natsu would be using moves that would be very predictable, I would imagine, for him at the same time. He's probably going to end up being way stronger to reach his full power, though. You see Amira being Shiki's friend. Yeah, now I'm wondering, like, is Labilia going to end up being important here, or is it going to be Amira? And, like, how is that turn going to really go? What's up, Guillotine? How's it going, man? With Demon Slayer ending, do you think Mashal and Undead will have a better chance of staying? Well, I think Mashal and Undead Unluck are both been doing well. I know that Undead Unluck did really well in its first volume sales. So I imagine they're both fine. It's more concerning about a couple of the other back series. It doesn't look like Guardian the Witch is going to make it, which is going to be pretty bummed. Because I did like that series. I do like the main characters. And I'm interested in seeing the world. I'm curious to know, like, on the Japanese end, like, if they got some comments, like, what they didn't like about it. Natsu would completely destroy Suna. Suna can't really do anything to Natsu. Timer of Acnologia versus Fairyheart Zeref. I'm going to go with Acnologia. I mean, Zeref with Fairyheart wasn't confident that he could beat normal Acnologia, so he had to go back in time. Well, he had a reset time. Yes, it's the Angstrom Curse, but Zeref can... Yeah, but he can use it, but the curse and how potent it is scales off of how much you care about said person. So he's not going to have the same level of recoil as Wolfen got when he acknowledged like how much he cares for Alderaan because he's part of him. How strong is God Ankh-Saram? Well, Ankh-Saram should be by far the strongest character in the series because the only thing that could destroy his curse is the same curse and like pretty much maxing out how it worked and it, like looping them into each other and to destroy them. That's the only thing that we know of that would have killed him, that would have destroyed the curse. So I imagine Ankh-Saram. The only character I can see above Ankh-Saram is Mashimir because he like created the Mishima multiverse. But then you obviously have all the kind of spawns in each of individual universe and each individual storyline. And so I imagine Ankh-Saram is going to be the top for the Fairy Tail centered one. I think Brandish is stronger. All she has to do is grow big and step on. I mean, yeah, but then what happens when Nineheart starts summoning people that she knows that's died? Because we already know that Brandish has like a huge thing with her mom, and then Nineheart just makes copies of her, makes a copy that she has to fight. That's gonna mess her up. What's up? Yeah, I already said that. I already saw this. I'm just trying to see. I don't know. It's just going good, comfortable. Saturday, figured I'd stream for like an hour or so, and then we can, just kind of go over stuff that chapters that happened this week, anything that any topics that we wanted to be brought up, and just continue on to this next set of chapters. So tomorrow we get back to the normal schedule, so it's gonna be good. Branch magic is based on her. I mean, no, it should. That's how if you're using an applied magic on something, you can resist it by having more magic. Then I mean that's pretty straightforward. Otherwise, then Brandish can kill anybody, and there she wouldn't be able to be defeated. If there was no real kind of like way to fight her magic other than like some weird specific buff, because he got stronger. Irene made him stronger. So if it was really just one vague specific buff, then what would stop her from killing most characters? I mean, she's strong, but she's not the top. And I don't think it's just, she can apply people. And no. It's got to be like applied power onto people. I don't agree with that otherwise. I was thinking about making one of my characters a bastard child. Well, go for it. Get to it. I almost forgot Promised Neverland's ending. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, too. I forgot that was ending. I don't know how many chapters it's left, though. How do you feel the new chapters of Reckon Ragnarok? Hyped! I want to see this Shiva versus Raiden match. The one that I'm still most hyped for, I would say whoever fights Beelzebub. On the demon or on the god side, it's Beelzebub for me, and then on the human side, I want to see Nikolai Tesla and Grigori Rasputin. Those are the two I really want to see up. Alderaan versus the Black Bulls. The Alderaan can roll over and kill everybody in Black Clover. If Yuno wants to become stronger, in my opinion, he should take a page from Asta's book and increase his physical abilities. I think what he needs to do is get more like attuned with mana, because he's got that tie to the elf, so he needs to go towards that instead. Because if he just starts getting physically strong, I don't think that'll really help him, because his fighting style is not physical stamina and physical strength. Like, he is quick, he's ranged, he's more like fast on his feet, where Asta is more like get hit, adapt, get back in. Yuno's is more of be super fast on your feet, move around, figure out like mid going. I already answered the Natsu versus Ichigo question like 6 times. Name 5 characters that can beat Goku. I mean, can't most of like Saint Seiya? I mean, Yugi and Atem could both beat him. Like, what was his name? Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. There's a bunch of characters. Just look it up, man. People are speculating that human Alderaan's attacks on Natsu are possibly faster than light. I don't know where that would come from. I mean, maybe, but it would have to be some crazy ass number, and then the question would be is how would Natsu what would be part of his thing that why he can do it at this specific speed? I think it's because Natsu's inside its body and he's using like microscopic spores. I already read this one. Where was I? Do you think we will get any info about Ankh-Saram 100 Years Quest? I'm hoping so. I really want to see like more about this guy. He's like a weird character that we could have just had the name of, but then Kirishima teased and spent a little bit on his lore when we found out how Zareth got it. So until we haven't got anything since then. Like his name hasn't. I don't even think his name's been mentioned outside of like a couple references to his curse. Like why haven't we had anybody question like what is with this god dude who keeps cursing people? I think somebody needs to take note of him. How old am I? I'm 25. Do you resist Demaria's time stop? No, because the difference between Demaria's time stop and Brandish is Brandish, if she's trying to shrink somebody or make them bigger, she's applying her magic to them. Demaria does not, because Demaria has normal, like, raw time stop, to where she's not applying it to people, she's applying it to time itself. So stats have nothing to do with it. People's magic have nothing to do with it. Unless you have a time-based abilities enough to kind of keep up, I don't imagine you really being able to keep like fight her when she stops time. Maybe if you have precognition and you know beforehand, attack her before she manages to stop time, or you have an ability that lets you exist within time stop. If you can also stop time, if you have a time kind of resistant ability, or be like Ultier and give up a lot of your time to where it exists and takes shape of you if time is stopped. Crazy person. Otherwise, how do you think Gildarts beat? Wait, Demaria's time. Gildarts. I think Gildarts would just hit her before she could do anything, or just the fact that with time stop, she would still have to be able, like, strong enough to wound their body. If she doesn't have the physical or magical power in order to kill them with time stop, I don't imagine that she's gonna be able to defeat them. Because you gotta keep in mind stuff like Irene. Irene turns into her dragon form. What does Demaria do? Nothing. None of her abilities would hurt Dragon Irene even with time stopped. And she's not. I was like, well, maybe she was trying to utilize motion sickness. She's not physically strong enough to put Irene on any form of vehicle post dragon state. So Gildarts would just be stronger. Brandish has manipulated August. Oh no, Brandish had the sword or the knife manipulated, so it expanded and pierced August. It wasn't August; it was the knife she was holding. Demaria and what's her name? I don't know how I'm blanking. Brandish are about the same. We already know that it was literally whichever one attacks first can hurt the other, is going to beat the other one. And Brandish also didn't. When did he? She didn't use her magic on Gray. She shrunk Lucy. She only shrunk not the demon seed within Natsu while he was passed out and unable to resist. So no. It's not, because when did she shrink Gray? I'm trying to remember at what point she shrunk down Gray. Anyway, yeah, it can't count like Natsu. Natsu's unconscious. Demaria and Brandish are about on level, and it was the knife that she was holding, not August himself. She was able to shrink the wound, but that's because August allowed it. No, her ability is not that broken. If it was that broken, that where like power came in, nothing came into play other than a weird specific enchant that Irene knew, then Brandish would beat everybody. I think Brandish is the weakest of all. She's definitely strong. I mean, yeah, I think she's stronger than Jacob, but Jacob isn't like a straight power fighter. He's it's hand-to-hand combat, but he's a stealth and BFR dude. It's more about being able to take a hit. Do you know about Dark Snyder? No, not really. I don't know. I know the name. I don't know anything about the character. Iron versus Nagato. Irene's probably gonna eat him. Naruto versus Ichigo. I'd probably give my money to Naruto. Fireheart Zera versus Ainz Volga. I don't know how powerful Ainz is. Next, you get to enter the Tezuka manga contest. What would your manga be? Well, I'd want to do more of I would try maybe do something like an adventure one. I'd either do an adventure kind of series or a horror series, because I have a couple series ideas, but the two that I would definitely pick from would be more of like a normal, like a classic adventure that that slowly gets more crazier and gets more delved into like some more complex plot, or I want to do like a horror and do something pretty spooky, but unfortunately I can't draw. So make yourself fast enough to punch them before time stops. I mean, yeah, because she has to activate the ability. I'm actually hoping for the White Mage to wake up and fight Doom. Yeah, I'm happy to. I don't. So the Happy thing, there was like that thought in my head too, but I don't really know what Happy would have, The only way Happy would even have any form of power-up form is if somehow his power-ups from the Happy spinoff carry over and that happens here. I mean, I'd be all right with that because as far as we know, that's part of the manga. I don't think there was anything in it that would make it not canon. But yeah, it would be a weird one. I think personally, maybe the Irene one would be a better choice. Just or not the Irene one, the White Witch one, just because that seems more logical and more interesting to me. Because there's nothing to say that the Happy manga is not canon, but it'd be really weird if that manga ended up having some significant effect on Happy now and like plays a role in the story as big as doing anything with a god seed. The White Witch is definitely strong enough that she should be able to fight Doom just fine. Let's see. No, she did manipulate August. She shrank. Yeah, but I just said that August let it happen. He didn't resist it. He was letting it happen so he didn't bleed out. No, she did manipulate. Oh yeah, I read that. The Espada versus the Spriggan 12 versus the Akatsuki. The Spriggan 12, they have way more hacks. They have way more broken abilities. She saves Gray in 100 Years Quest. Oh, that's because Gray also didn't know. Gray was like getting attacked by Scullion. Like, Gray had no idea about Brandish. I think Wendy should have killed Nabel. No. He's gonna have a good story presence. I believe in him. Any elemental powers in my series that are like Hellfire is an advanced element. And manipulates elements mixed together is called my own words fusion element. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Make some cool fusion cards. Given how hacked Irene is with her enchantments, do you think they'd fight with Irene? I mean, I think they were close. I think August was stronger though. Do I write? Well, I take down notes, but that's about it. I have like character ideas and story ideas, but I don't go into. I have like the ideas still in my head, but I haven't written most of them down. Do I read Soul Levering a Tower God? Let's see. Oh, what's up, Sheridan Kane? How's it going, man? Irene and August, I see are even. I think August is a little bit stronger because he was the commander. Like he was their general. He was in charge. What's up, Kimano? How's it going, man? The one thing actually that really surprised me with Fairy Tail was Mavis. Mavis kind of broke the whole idea of the founder character being really OP, because usually that's just a trope that I think everybody likes. So I it's weird not having it, but it's like, well, we never were expected like that she was like some super powerful person. We just assumed so. She had Fairy Heart, but she didn't use it. It wasn't something that she ever utilized. She could have been super OP. I personally really wish, like, one of the things I would have changed in the within the arc was I would like to see her activate Fairy Heart, and then like that's how she beats Irene, because that's who I thought was gonna fight Irene. I really wanted to see Mavis involved, or even Mavis teamed up with Urza. That would have been really cool. And then afterwards, Zeref maybe afterwards she goes and does the rest of the stuff where Zeref steals it. That would have been really cool. Witch versus Fairy Tail Element 4 all at once. I mean, she can probably take them. Well, I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't think all at once. But the difference between the Fairy Tail Element 4 and the Eden Zero Element 4 is that the Fairy Tail Element 4 are all way more direct combat based. Like, all of them have the ability to just normally like be in the fight. Whereas with Daichi was not a... He didn't really seem like much of a fighter. He seemed more like he's just trying to get that hacks on you, and then, he's going to torture you. Laguna was a fighter. Sylph was like a weird AoE trapper. And, I mean, she could still have, like, her ranged attacks, but she was mostly set on trying to trap people. And then Phi was a sniper. He was not, like, somebody going to be up close in range in terms of combat. So, with them, it would be more of just, like, getting past whatever their kind of gimmicks were and then, getting the hit on them. And then with the Element 4 from Fairy Tail, she would have much more of, like, a direct 4 all-on-1 at the same time fight where all these guys are going to be coming at her from all sides. But yeah, what else? Oh, crap. Lost my spot. Had to alter the story a bit to fit the 55 page for the contest. I hope the manga my friend and I enter gets chosen as
chosen at most. I'm hoping for an honorable mention. That'd be cool. I mean, legitimately, if I entered, all I would really want would be that if there's a list of these are all the names of the people that entered or the series that entered. If it had the title of it, just knowing that it's going to be listed like that would be really cool. In in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a part where you're kind of using I think it's summoning part of the powers of fallen Keyblade wielders, and it's the action commands. But you see, if you look, you see each name of that is a different person in the action command. It's supposed to be people from. I think they were randomly selected people who played the phone game, and so they have their character names forever existent in the lore of Kingdom Hearts, which I think is really cool. And it's not obviously part of some story, but just knowing it's in a Shonen Jump magazine, it would be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty badass. Ulquiorra versus Laxus. I give it to Laxus for sure, because their two biggest things with Ulquiorra, he has his he's got his what is it is Lanza, which he can't control, which is going to be hard for him, and he does have his regeneration in his Segunda and Tapa, because his biggest thing was his regeneration for all of the Espada, but he can't regenerate vital limbs and stuff, or vital organs rather, not limbs. And with Laxus is Red Lightning Dragon mode. He's literally a Berserker Dragon. The more damage he takes, the stronger he becomes throughout the fight. So, with the biggest thing really missing, and Ulquiorra is going to be landing more melee attacks on Laxus, I could see Laxus getting more powerful faster, and then just laying Ulquiorra down before he gets the chance to land Alonza. Because from what we saw, his physical, his durability probably wouldn't be enough to take Alonza too if he went close. Ulquiorra and Joel have the sector. I didn't know that. Someone told me that recently. I thought that was cool. Current Laxus, God Serena. I'd probably go with Ulquiorra and Jalal have. Oh, I already read that one. Crap. I really hate this scroll bar on the YouTube. Laxus bodyguards are gonna be the Wendy versus Rukia. It literally goes down to if Rukia gets to absolute zero first. I think Wendy